I have 4 easy winners for NFL Week 15, and I'm going to give them to you for free in this video. 4-0 run over the last 4 NFL plays and over $20,000 profited. 2 of the last 4 have been $10,000 plays. Last one was Green Bay minus 6.5 against the Bears Sunday. Monday, we won with the Chargers plus 2.5. And this weekend, a lot of opportunity is ahead of us. Now, before I start off with today's analysis team, if you guys are growing, if you guys are learning, please share the show with a couple buddies that like to sports bet, that like to learn how to do this the right way, and that like to win and think long-term team, because that's what we do. I don't run ads on the show because I find it fucking annoying, to be completely honest with you. So all I ask for in return is for you guys to share the show. That way, I'm growing and I'm giving you guys more value every day, more and more. Now, let's get to the money. Before I do that, I have a very big announcement. One of the bigger announcements that I've had in a long time, especially for you loyal followers that have been watching my YouTube for a long time, and it's the following. I'm reopening up my community Sports Winners Club, guys. This community gets you guys one play a day, a daily analysis, a longer one than this YouTube one every single day, written or on video, and you get a classroom full of courses that are going to be added here in the next few days. NFL, college football, MLB, follow the money. Every system that I have, you guys got here for $97 a month. $97 a month. I have 57 members, or 55, I believe, members in this community. Once it gets to 100, it will be closed off, and I'm going to focus on the 100 members within the community, guys. So make sure you join that. I've left the link below. That way you guys can access the community, learn a little bit more about it. And again, once it hits 100 members, I am closing it off. $97 a month. Rather a cheap price. And let's say that it's not going to stay there forever either. Once I reopen it again, it's going to be a little bit higher because I intend to do live streams within this community and a lot more. I have a lot of ideas coming for you guys with the Sports Winners Club. Invest, don't gamble. Now, let's get to the money, team. A lot of good games. Thursday night football game. Today is Thursday. You're going to get this video Thursday. I'm not touching Thursday night football. I personally believe if you are touching Thursday night football, you're gambling. You're gambling because there's no real angle. Atlanta Falcons are down and out, and Tampa Bay is real injured. Personally, if I were to go with a play, I'd go with Tampa Bay Bucks at the money line, probably by points, because that seems like the play. But I personally don't like that game at all. Now, there are 4 games Sunday that I love. And I'm going to say this right off the bat. The Dolphins lose their playoff hopes this weekend. Steelers will dominate them. That's just the way the Dolphins do things nowadays. And last season, they did it the same way. They get to a point, they give the fans hopes, and then guess what? They fuck it up. But we're not focusing on that game. We're going to focus on one of the key games for this weekend, which is Carolina Panthers going to New Orleans to face the Saints, guys. This line opened up in favor of the Panthers at minus 2.5, and it's been at minus 2.5 in majority of the books for a majority of the time that it's been open. Now, this game is Sunday. Let's see how the line fluctuates closer to game time to see if there's any movement. Money and support, as you can expect. Panthers are attracting it. They're in a position where they can make the playoffs, whereas the Saints are eliminated, right? 81% of the bets going to the Panthers, 83% of the handle on the spread on the money line, 79 and 85% of the handle going to them. The public and everybody loves the spot for the Panthers. And they've been playing well. And along with playing well, I'm going to jump to this part right away. They're coming off a bye week, so they're going to be prepared to come and play this game. Now, what's the situation here, guys? The quarterback for the Saints, the new quarterback for the Saints, has given their lives. This kid's a good player, and they didn't care last week that the Bucs were fighting for a position either. They went and beat them. They beat the Bucs in Tampa. And now again, they have a situation where they're playing the Panthers, a team that's motivated because they're going to make the playoffs. And let's see what happens. Now, let's look at strength of schedule. First stat that I'd like to look at. Saints dominate this category. 12th compared to 25th in the strength of schedule category. When you look at EPA per run, Panthers lead, and EPA per pass, Panthers lead as well. Now, the stats that matter for this game, I'm going to go to home and away, and remember, the Saints have had a tougher strength of schedule, and they have a better quarterback playing right now. Yards per game, Panthers lead. When we look at third down conversion offensively, the Saints have been leading, believe it or not. Red zone scoring percentage, an area where Carolina does lead. Defensively, the same splits that we're seeing, and turnover margins, Carolina Panthers do lead in that category. When we look in the season altogether, very similar situation. The Saints are not a bad team defensively. As a matter of fact, they're ranked a lot higher than the Panthers, and offensively, the Panthers are ranked a little bit ahead, but not by much. And remember, again, the quarterback situation for this Saints team, guys. Now, ultimately, this is one of those games that's it's a game that I do like, and I do like the Saints in this spot. And I like it at 3.5. Buy up the point. If the Panthers win, they win by a field goal. I can see the Saints winning this game, believe it or not, even though they're out of this matchup. But the numbers are there. Along with that, too, the line movement is there. Money and support is all over Panthers. Why hasn't Vegas pushed it up to 3? That key number, that magical number that we all know about. Why have they not done that? Remember, pay attention to it closer to game time. The final play will be posted on Sunday in that community as well that I'm talking to you guys about that you guys should join, Sports Winners Club. So make sure you join that. And let's go on to game number 2. Now let's go to game number 2, and this is the rematch from a few weeks ago. I'm talking about Baltimore Ravens going to Cincinnati to face the Bengals. Now, before we start off with this analysis, team, let's remember one thing. The Bengals are basically out of the playoff picture. Let's go to the playoff picture really quick. If they lose, they're basically out. Currently 2%. If they win, 5%. Ravens have a lot more to play for. If they win, it's 45%. If they lose, they're basically out of this game. Along with that, too, after the loss that the Bengals had against the Bills, look what Burrow said. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? So that's a mindset I'm trying to be able to bring to the table, right? Not the best words from your quarterback after a defeating loss that basically eliminated your team. So let's factor that in. Now this line opened up in favor of the Ravens at -3 in Bengals after the Bengals just beat them. Put that into consideration. Of course, motivation comes into play in this matchup. When we look at money and support, you're seeing a pros versus Joes situation. The Joes, the average bettors, are all over the Bengals, 69% of the bets, but the sharp money is all over the Bengals as of right now. Remember, it's Thursday. This game is on Sunday. You're seeing this on the spread, on the money line. The public loves the plus money for the Bengals. Now, when we look at this matchup, we analyzed it a few weeks ago. Strength of schedule, Bengals leading the situation. EPA per run, they also lead. EPA per pass, rather even in this situation. Motivation is going to come big time into this game. This game is going to be decided by who's motivated, and the bounce back factor is going to come into play. Lamar Jackson played terribly last game out. They lost at home. This is the matchup that he's been waiting for to rebound and give his team the opportunity to make the playoffs, guys. Now, let's look at the stats that matters. Yards per game. Cincinnati leads offensively in both the categories that I like, and yards per game here. Defensively, Baltimore does lead, and also turnover margins. Baltimore leads in away games. Simple. This is a rematch. This is a game that I like, the Baltimore Ravens, just because of the motivation, the rematch aspect of it. And along with that, too, it's really hard to beat a good team 2 times in a row. And a good team is the Ravens, guys, and they're not going to lose 2 games in a row. I love the money on the Ravens in this spot. I like the Ravens to win this game. Let's go to game number 3. Now, the last 2 games I'm going to talk about are probably the best games and the games of the weekend. Let's call it what it is. Got Buffalo Bills going to New England to face the Patriots. And we have a lot of implications when it comes to this game. If the Buffalo Bills win, let's transition to this page really quick. They'll have a 24% chance to win the division. Not much. Do not get me wrong. The Patriots have an easy road to win the division, and if they win, it's 100%. But the Bills are going to come in motivated. Josh Allen is going to come in motivated as well, and they want to make this game a statement win. Just like the one they just had in Cincinnati, they want to do the same thing here. Now let's transition to the line. It opened up in favor of Buffalo, guys. Of Buffalo in New England after the season that New England's had. At -1, and it's hovering the -1, -1.5 range. Now, when it comes to money and support, you're seeing 50% of the bets go to both these teams. There's no lopsided action to neither of these sides, so there's no big liability for Vegas, like the games that we covered for the Panthers versus the Saints, where the Panthers are a pretty big liability that day for Las Vegas. So let's transition on. Strength of schedule has been talked about for the Patriots the entire season. They've had it easy, very, very easy. Yes, they've won 10 in a row, if I'm not mistaken, but against 2. The Panthers, they beat the Bills at Buffalo, an impressive win. New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Falcons, the Jets, not the best opponents. Again, Buffalo opened up as favorite in New England as well. And if we factor the last part here as well, it's the fact that New England's coming off a bye week and they're still underdogs in this spot. Strength of schedule benefits the Bills. They've had it a little bit tougher, 26 compared to 32nd in that position. Now, when we transition on to the stats that matter, let's look at home and away splits for this game. Now, also factor in that Buffalo's been getting healthier defensively. And we're going to look at home and away, straightforward, and factor in strength of schedule as well. Yards per game, an area where Buffalo leads. Josh Allen, really hard to stop. He's going to face a very tough New England defense. When we look at the offensive efficiency, though, third down conversion and red zone scoring percentage, an area where New England leads at home, because we're looking at the home and away splits because we're in week 15. When we look at the defensive side of things, Buffalo leads in both the categories that I like, and along with that too, with turnover margins. They add pressure. Drake May has been an excellent player this entire season, one of the MVP candidates, but nonetheless, he's going to face an experienced team in a playoff atmosphere-like game, believe it or not, even though the Patriots are already clinched into this game. When we look at the head-to-head in this spot, guys, the Patriots have been dominant over the last 2 with Drake May. It's not like New England has not been dominant. Buffalo Bills hasn't been winning the last 10 in a row. New England has been competing. They beat them last time out, but it's also the rematch factor. It's very hard to beat a good team twice in a row, 3 times in a row, and we see that in MLB, we see it in NBA, we see it in NHL, and we see it in NFL, guys. For me, the angle here is Buffalo. Buffalo, Josh Allen makes a late play, drives late in the game, and wins it for them, and I like the Bills in this spot to win this game. And the last play of the day, one of the better games once again, we've got Green Bay Packers going to Denver to face the Broncos. Line opened up in favor of Green Bay at -1.5 in Denver. Again, a very telling line, just like Buffalo Bills. It's pushed up to -2.5 in majority of the books. With money and support, again, very similar to this previous game that I just covered, rather even. 56% of the bets going to the Broncos, 44% going to Green Bay. On the money line, you're seeing a little bit more action going to Denver Broncos. The public likes the plus money in the situation. Now, let's look at the implications for this matchup. Broncos are still motivated to win the AFC West. A very big position that they want to win, and the Packers want to maintain their position as well. So they're both going to come motivated to play this game. Now, when we look at strength of schedule, guys, there's a huge gap in here. Green Bay has faced the 15th strongest schedule compared to the 28th for the Broncos. EPA per pass, a situation where Green Bay has been dominant the entire season, and Jordan Love has been in his groove. EPA per run, again, an area where Green Bay leads as well, team. Now, when we transition on to the stats that matters here, I'm going to cover this really quick because then I'm going to give you guys the winners for this game. Home and away splits. Denver yards per game lead offensively, though the Packers lead. Defensively, Denver leads. And on the turnover margin, Green Bay does lead in this situation. I'm going to keep it simple, team. Very, very simple. I don't see Denver losing by more than 3 points, and I like him to possibly win this game. A little bit of a different pick here, but I do like the value for Denver at home in this spot. They haven't been playing excellent over the last two. As a matter of fact, Green Bay has been pushing a little bit better, and I want to see how this line moves for this situation, for this game specifically. It's one of those that, depending on the line movements, I'm going to roll with Denver at +3, +3.5, or I'm going to stay away from this game altogether. One of those games that's really good, but depending on the line, we're going to see if we're going to play it or not. And sometimes it's good to stay away from some other games. These are the 4 best games that I like. I gave you guys 3 that I like a lot more than this one specifically. This one's have some variables that we have to play in closer to game time. That, again, happens in 3 days, team. So that is it for today, guys. Share the show with a couple buddies that like the sports bet. If you guys are interested in the community, the link is below. Again, once I get to 100 members there, it will be closed off. And when I reopen it, the price will be a little bit higher. Right now, it's $97 a month to get analysis like this every single day for majority of the sports. Get a system, learn from a professional that bets thousands every single day, guys. And along with that, too, be with like-minded individuals, guys. So that is it for today, guys. Let's win this week, and then I'll catch you guys next week.